begin our look at sports on the WNBA hardwood, where the New York Liberty are ringing in the 20th anniversary of the league in style. The Liberty are in first place in the Eastern Conference. However, Wednesday night's victory at the world's most famous arena wasn't an easy one against the struggling Seattle Storm. Nonetheless, the Liberty are finding ways to win close games. New York, which almost blew an 18-point lead against Seattle, holding on for a 78-74 win, have won 5 of their past 6 games that have either gone to overtime or been decided by 4 points or fewer. We go inside the locker room for more.
What does it say about the team to be able to kind of pull this one out? You were talking about championship contending and being able to battle at the end of games.
Yeah, the fortunate thing is that we've been in this situation before. The last few games we've had overtime and we've had close games, so we know what it looks like to be in that position. So it's nice that we've been battle tested and we can do it, but we'd like to be able to be more consistent throughout the course of a game.
You've shown a lot of bounce back as a team. You want to just speak a little bit about how you guys have performed coming off defeats?
Just staying positive, just trying to take things from the losses. You know, I think the second time we had played against LA, you know, we lost by like 20. And then this time I think we lost around by 8 points or 10. And so for us to be able to know that there was a spurt versus LA, that we just weren't scoring, but we were executing plays, you try to take positives from every game. You know, you try not to hold your head. And that's one thing that Bill always tells us. You know, don't hold your head. You know, the league doesn't stop. This league doesn't stop. You always have a next game and just try to get better in that game.
Oh, you always got to bounce back. You basically can't lose 2 in a row, but you know, just believing that, you know, we can get the job done. The Sparks is a good team, but we can beat them. We can beat anybody in this league.
The worst thing in professional basketball was a big early lead. I told our players at halftime that nothing's easy. And I told them after the game, nothing's easy in this league. And we get up like that, you tend to relax a little bit. They're young. They're not going to stop. They're going to keep playing hard and doing their thing. And when they get momentum, they ride their waves of momentum, and they did tonight. You know, we'll take it. We didn't have our best effort, but a win is a win, especially at home.
Since dropping 3 straight at the end of May, including 2 in OT, the Liberty has won 11 of 14 overall to improve to 13-6 on the season. Seattle rallied behind #1 pick Breanna Stewart, who finished with 24 points and 16 rebounds, but the Liberty found a way. They will look to keep rolling this weekend. They will be in Chicago tonight and San Antonio on Sunday. The Mets and reserve Wilmer Flores are rolling indeed. Flores hit a go-ahead 3-run homer against the Washington Nationals Thursday night in a 9-7 win as the Amazons took the opener of a pivotal 4-game series between the top teams in the National League East. The Mets have won 6 of 7 to start the month of July, and that included closing out the series against the Miami Marlins and red-hot slugger Giancarlo Stanton Wednesday afternoon. At Citi Field, New York posted a 4-2 victory that included 2 more dingers for Flores. We got a chance to catch up with Wilmer and Jose Reyes, who returned to the club Tuesday night. Check this out.
In my mind, just think I'm going to do in my yard, going to strike him out, get a ground ball out.
You know, I'm going to take it day by day, you know, so I don't want to try to do too much, you know. I want to try to play my game. And like I said, the more that I play, the more comfortable I'm going to feel.
It was great. You know, Wilmer's been very hot, obviously. You know, he's had a great week though so far, and hopefully can continue to keep that going. But he's been a great hitter. Just given an opportunity to continue to swing the bat, he can do some great things. And Reyes is a proven veteran, just needs to get at bats. And sure enough, today he was able to come up with 2 big ones.
Yeah, definitely a good one today. It's going to be an exciting series, obviously important series, and we're ready for it.
So like I said, I'm happy that I get a hit, but you know, I'm more excited about the win. You know, so this is about win or loss. You know, so we want to win. So like I said, we get a big win today, and hopefully we start a very good series against the National tomorrow, and we see what happens.
Flores had homered 4 times this week, but began Thursday night on the bench. He still managed to get in the game and homer again. It was a tension-filled evening between the 2 rivals. There was a controversial interference call at second base that cost the Nats. Nationals GM Mike Rizzo was so fired up he confronted second base umpire Jim Joyce after the game. He got into a shouting match in the hallway with the umpire. The Mets, who are 3 games behind the Nationals, continue their weekend series with Washington tonight. Noah Syndergaard will toe the rubber for New York and oppose Stephen Strand. Strasburg. The two All-Star pitchers are heading to San Diego for Tuesday's Midsummer Classic. Yoenis Cespedes, Jeurys Familia, and Syndergaard will represent the Mets, while Carlos Beltran, Dellin Betances, and Andrew Miller will represent the Yankees in the All-Star game. On a side note, if you were wondering how Jose Reyes got his former number 7 jersey back from Mets catcher Travis d'Arnaud, nothing changes one's mind like a Rolex. Reyes presented the catcher with the watch. As a thank you, Travis will now wear number 18. As for the Yankees, Didi Gregorius had 2 hits, including a solo home run as the Bronx Bombers beat the Cleveland Indians 5-4 Thursday night. This final series before the All-Star break is also important for the Yanks, who are wondering whether they will be buyers or sellers before the baseball trade deadline later this month. On the NBA hardwood, the New York Knicks will introduce new free agents Joakim Noah, Courtney Lee, and Brandon Jennings today at their training facility in Greenberg. Our BronxNet cameras will be on hand, and we'll have more next time on the show. Jennings was the latest addition to this roster. The guard took a 1-year, $5 million deal. In the process, New York lost Langston Galloway to free agency. He inks a 2-year contract to suit up for the New Orleans Pelicans. In Brooklyn, the Nets made it official this week. Linsanity is coming to the BK. Jeremy Lin is the new point guard in Brooklyn. The Nets have been overhauling their roster and getting younger by the day under new GM Sean Marks. They offered a combined $125 million to restricted free agents Alan Krebe and Tyler Johnson in an effort to improve on their 21-61 mark from last season. Lin, Justin Hamilton, Trevor Booker, Johnson, and Krebe could make for an interesting young mix, which is what Marks is hoping for, of course. Time for some quick hitters from around the world of sports. NYCFC, which topped the New York Red Bulls 2-0 last Sunday and followed that with a sharp 1-0 victory over New England, returns to action Sunday against Kansas City. NYCFC is in first place. The club has played extremely well of late. Meanwhile, the Red Bulls will look to get back on the winning track after losing to their rivals. They will be in Portland Sunday. On the ice, Islander veteran Matt Karkner is retiring after 15 seasons in the NHL. The defenseman spent time with the Isles, Ottawa, and San Jose during his career. In New Jersey, Kyle Palmieri has re-signed with the Devils on a 5-year deal, while the Rangers are hoping to retain forward Chris Kreider, who is among 24 NHL players who have filed for salary arbitration. By now, I'm sure you are aware that 7-time All-Star and former league MVP Kevin Durant is bound for Golden State, leaving OKC for the team that beat the Thunder in the Western Finals. Durant's free agent signing headlined free agency, but plenty of moves have been of the surprising variety, including Dwayne Wade, who is leaving Miami after 13 years to don a Chicago Bulls jersey. The veteran inked a 2-year, $47.5 million deal this week. From Wimbledon, Serena Williams has navigated around some tough singles matches to advance to the semifinals, which will be played on Saturday. Number 1 Williams will face number 4 Angelique Kerber. On the men's side, Roger Federer and Andy Murray are among the semifinalists, with action on tap today. Novak Djokovic, who was highlighted as a favorite last week on the show, was stunned early in the tournament. He fell to U.S. star Sam Querrey. NFL training camp is about 3 weeks away. Still no contract agreement between the New York Jets and quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick. Jet fans could be watching Geno Smith under center this season. Giants QB Eli Manning says he's optimistic about the year with all of the additions in free agency and through the draft. Football is almost back in the fold. Crazy how time flies. We're here in the stretch run of our sports segment 2. Let's hit the C-list. It's been a troubling week around the world with horrific news of shootings in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Minnesota, and now Dallas. The latest news has 5 police officers fatally shot in Texas during a protest against police shootings in the other 2 states. The sports world has reacted and taken to social media to express the same sentiment I will preach this morning. NBA star LeBron James kept his tweet very simple but powerful. "We are all hurting tonight," he said in reference to the news about Dallas. "More violence is not the answer," he finished with his comment with the hashtag #StopTheViolence. From our family to yours, our thoughts and prayers are with the people in Dallas, Baton Rouge, and Minnesota, and even in Orlando, where the city is still mourning from a club shooting. That's your sports. I'm Bobby C.